Okay, I think more or less everybody's here. So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The warmest welcome to home, to our place, and we can officially start the 4th edition of Take a Breath. Okay? We're all very excited, and this weird configuration of the stage will help us dance a little bit from the very first early afternoon. By the way, I'm Maria Paola, and I'm in charge of communication, so blame everything on me about this event, okay? It is really an emotion, and the first thing I would like to do is to inaugurate this Kite Lab. This is a knowledge-intensive testing environment. So I'm calling on stage Mr. Enrico Loccioni and Carmine Ungaro, that is the Director of Research for Automotive. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's really an incredible emotion for me. It's really a thrilling experience, you can hear by my voice, to share this moment with you. This is our new laboratory, but it's not just a building. It's not just a laboratory. It is a scientific community that come into practice, a possible answer to your challenges. KITE stands for Knowledge Intensive Testing Environment. There is your and our shared knowledge. There is the intensity of our relations, and there is the commitment to our common goals. So, this is your testing lab to let your project fly high. Thank you again.
So, we were supposed to cut the ribbon outside, but okay, we will do it virtually here. Okay, there we go, red ribbon. And Carmine with Mr. Loccioni together.
Right.
And there we go, together with you.
Okay.
You.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Carmine. I think we're the only company that has 2 super engineers to hold the ribbon, you know? We're very lucky. Okay, and this is going to be an intensive afternoon as well. And also the evening will be intense, so I really recommend, I'll beat your nightmare, and I recommend to be on time to get on the bus and go to the dinner location. For anything you might need that information, you have the agenda that you found on your chair, and all contacts are in there for anything you might need. But now I'll give the word to Mr. Loccioni for his welcome.
Okay. Grazie. Grazie, Carmine, thank you very much for your emotion. For me, it's more emotion. Because started our activity 45 years ago with my wife in this place for electric installation, small electric installation. 30 years ago, more or less, in this place there was a farmer, only farmer. Step by step, thank you very much for the customer and the people like Carmine and the other guy, old people. We grow. For me, is a strong emotion to see a lot of people like you in this place. Very, very emotional. Thank you very much for your presence. Welcome and welcome back my passion, and thank you very, very much for your trust in our person, in our job. In the past and now and the future, we work with the customer, and and the people like you for the people and the planet. For us, it's very pleasure. Enjoy these 2 days for the project Our Future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Enrico Loccioni. Comfort of people, wealth of the planet are our upper goals, and we're very, very happy to introduce you the former Italian Ministry of Environment, Mr. Corrado Clini, that has been for a long time and still is this way, working in terms of sustainability and safety of people and planet.
Thank you very much. I was asked to say something about the context, global context, and they asked, please don't say a word about the future of car, because somebody could be not so. Just to show some figures. You know very well the agreement in Paris in December 2015 for facing climate change, and one of the outcomes of the Paris Agreement should be the reduction of the role of fossil fuels in the global energy mix from the present 86, you see there, to 50% in the next 25 years by 2040. And I believe that this is not an easy task, because reducing the role of fossil fuels from 86 to 50% means that we have to change the energy system in order to start for addressing the future of the decarbonization of our economy. In this context, we have to do a lot in industrial sector, in power generation, in the final uses of energy, and also in transportation, because it is expected that in the next 20 years we will have more 900 million cars in the world, half of them in China and India. And in order to reduce the role of fossil fuels in the global energy mix, take into account that most of the increasing of energy demand will be in India and China, we had to adopt some measures. I want to mention some of this. The first is, I believe, the introduction of a global carbon tax in order to facilitate, to promote the competition or the alternatives to the fossil fuels. But looking at the figures, looking at the future projection of the emissions, we should also work in order to reduce the role of the emissions in the transport sector. And according many experts in the world, mainly in China today, they believe that the new cars in the future should be supplied mainly by electricity and hydrogen. 900 million cars supplied by electricity and hydrogen is something we cannot imagine today, starting from what we know. But this is one of the, I believe, the blueprint we should have in mind when we address the complicated and difficult challenge to address climate change. So I believe that your work, our work in these two days, will be able also to understand, but also in some way to indicate the ways for addressing in these 25 years the transitional modes, the transitional solutions for reducing the role of fossil fuels in the global energy mix. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corrado Clini. And I call on stage Mr. Luca Marassi. Is leading the automotive business unit in Loccioni, and we've been working hard on this event, so he gives you your welcome. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you, Maria Paola, for the kind introduction. And of course, good evening, everybody, and welcome also from my side. Firstly, I would like really to thank the Loccioni family for keeping believing in this initiative, Take a Breath, now at its fourth edition, and also to founding it, because we need also the money to organize an event like this. And second, I would like really to thank all of you for being here, because without you, all this would not be possible. I think that you all deserve a big round of applause. Thank you. And now, before starting the activity in agenda, I think it's important for me to explain what does it mean, the Take a Breath for our group, how much it's important to have you here, and which are the principles that have guided us and inspired us during these years. I can do this job by myself, but someone told me that my speech is already too long, and so we have decided to ask to some friend of us that have participated to the last edition of Take a Breath their opinion about this initiative.
La competizione nel mondo del lavoro sta snaturando sempre più le relazioni sociali di quanti coinvolti, portandoli a lavorare quotidianamente in modo lucidamente arrabbiato. L'evento Take a Breath organizzato dal gruppo Loccioni, non a caso con la stessa frequenza degli antichi Giochi Olimpici, è una buona opportunità per restituire positivo valore sociale al mondo del lavoro.
Take a Breath is a great opportunity to share opinions and outlooks on future technology prospects that today are changing and shifting at a very impressive speed. The open and clear debate in a serene and hospitable environment strengthens human relationships and leads to new initiatives. I'm very proud to have contributed and participated since the first edition.
Hello everyone, my name is Max Nakagawa, CTO at Denso. Let's all take a breath. I think this is a great opportunity to meet, discuss, and exchange opinions. For this year, let's make this an extra special event and inspire ourselves with passion and smiles. Thank you.
After attending my first Take a Breath in 2012, I realized how valuable and unique this seminar is. Gathering technical experts from the OEM and Tier 1s in the beautiful confines of Loccioni to discuss current and future trends in the automotive industry truly makes this a must-attend event.
Tutto quello che possiamo fare è valorizzare il lavoro delle persone, perché tutto quello che serve e che servirà nel futuro è realizzato da persone, perciò le persone sono il valore più grande.
Thank you so much for your warm words. But let me summarize which are these values, which are the key words that have inspired us since the first idea of Mr. Loccioni 12 years ago. The first word that I would like to underline is the originality. because the idea was not to organize a conventional congress or conference with paper, R&D works, or presentation, but more simply a round table where the automotive leaders can freely speak about their vision of how to overcome the common challenge all we have, and that is to design cleaner, cheaper, and more sustainable cars for a more sustainable world. Another word, the second one is friendship, an informal environment where all of you can take really a break from your day-by-day activity and dedicated time also for relationship and networking. The third one is challenge, and it is our task, because our task in this year is to keep our hair wide open in order to capture which will be your needs, your wishes for face the future of automotive, and then to use these wishes and these needs in order to plan our growth. And the last one is market style, to let you experience the flavor, the landscape, also today, and the tradition that our wonderful region can offer. This was the value that we have inspired us since the first edition, but there is something that is changed since 2004. For example, at the time we couldn't even imagine to have such impressive panel of people here today. And so really, thank you for you. Only to give you some number. Today we are more or less 130 people, came from 12 different countries, equally divided among OEM, Tier 1, strategic supplier, and university. In total, 65 different companies are well represented, and we are really, really proud of that. Thank you. And now, when there is another thing that is really changed, and is the automotive world, because in 2004, it was really another things. Today, electrification is not anymore, or hybridization is not anymore a nice-to-have technology, but maybe one mandatory solution to meet the future emission target. And also, there are some incredible technology that are coming up that was even difficult to imagine some years ago, that are unleaving us a world that was readable only in the science fiction books since time. And so, for this edition, we decided to change a little more the format of the Take a Breath, and then to not focus only on internal combustion engine, but also to speak also about electrification and autonomous driving, and also to change a little bit the format. This evening we will have the chance to listen from the keynote speaker and the panelists of the roundtable, which will be the future technological scenario that we will have ahead in the next years. And tomorrow we take a big challenge, because the format of tomorrow is more difficult, and really we will be divided in several thematic focus groups, and the main actor of that will be you. A friend of us, the Japanese designer Isao Soe, thought that is when playing that people express their greatest creativity. And so, for tomorrow, we are asking you to play with us and to be part of our play factory during the focus group. And our goal also during the focus group is always the same, to try to keep and to understand which will be your future need in terms of technology, new measurement instrument, and new testing technology also. In the meantime, as you can see, we have gone ahead realizing this wonderful building, the house of measure, what we call the Kite Lab. And please feel free in the next days to open all the door of the laboratory to find out what we are doing now, but also to imagine what we could do together tomorrow in order to solve your problem 10 years from now. And now, before starting...
Before you introduce, just a little service information. We will have no break, but there will be some water and coffee on the hall and on the back. So you just feel free to very quietly go and get something to drink. And then we will have Anna and Mona that will sketch out our discussions and our vision with all the energy that is inside. Okay.
Yes. Now it's the time for making the official thanks to all that made this possible. And the first thanks, the warmest and the really great thanks go to all of you for being here, but also for the trust that you have demonstrated us and the friendship along these years. And a second big thank go to all the colleagues that have helped us in the organization of this edition, and Andrea Cingolani, the project manager. Thank you, Andrea. And of the event, Massimo Peretti on the key customer account manager of the Loccioni group, Carmine, and all the R&D guys, and of course Maria Paola and our wonderful Loccioni event team. Thank you very much for the job you did in this month. And of course, another thanks go to the friend who have accepted to be the protagonist of this edition of the Take a Breath. Of course, our keynote speaker, the moderator of the roundtable and the panelist of the roundtable, the chairman of the focus group of tomorrow, and our historical friend, Rinaldo Rinolfi, Sandro Piccone, and Mario Ricco, because I think they are the only one that have participated to all the edition of the Take a Breath. And thank you. Last but not least, I would like also to express our gratitude to Mr. Luca Ciferri for having accepted to be the main moderator of this edition of Take a Breath. Please, Mr. Ciferri, can you join me on the stage for the official start of the Congress? While he's coming, only 2 words of presentation of Mr. Ciferri. Mr. Ciferri was born in Canada, but we are proud to say that he has also some link with our region, in Marche. After his graduation, he immediately started to work on the automotive, and since 1988, he joined the famous magazine Automotive News. And since 4 years, he is the editor of its European edition, for which he is one also of the founder. As his mother still saying, he's a very lucky man because he found a way to not stop playing with toy cars. Playing with toy cars. And so, what's left from my side is only to wish to all of you to enjoy the meeting, to enjoy your stay in our